All right, and we are back with some more Nerd Radio on the podcast page, WRAF.com. Over in, where are we, Al?
Rock929rocks.com in Boston.
See, that's definitely your permanent job right there. Just to remind me, I almost said Chicago. I don't know. We're in Boston.
We're in Boston, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And, of course, Wednesday afternoons on Checkpoint XP's Twitch channel, which, James, give it to me.
Twitch.tv/checkpointxp.
Thank you guys very much for not making me remember more things.
Yeah.
I appreciate it very much. It's Chuck Bean, Al Beck, and James this week, joined by Mark Cooper, Mr. Player One, and having a great time. If you're watching us on the Twitch stream, we were just talking about some card game stuff and having a great time. Mark, you've been a nerd your whole life, right?
Pretty much, man.
You've been
until it was cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Until it became something that's like, okay, now I can tell people about it in public.
Yeah, exactly. just like any of us.
For sure, man, for sure. So a couple of other things I wanted to talk about video game-wise that I saw. So we all know about microtransactions when it comes to modern gaming here. That's the whole, like, you can throw money.
You just need money.
Yeah, exactly. You can throw money at the game if you want to. And if you do, you get these special things. There was a conference called the Game Connect Asia Pacific Conference. It was held days before PAX Australia. I'm getting this article off Kotaku.com. It was part of Melbourne International Games Week. And one of the things that came out of this conference is that somebody spent over $150,000 on microtransactions on a game.
Holy crap.
And the reason I bring it up is because it was on the Transformers cell phone game.
Oh, no! Oh, you loser!
That's not me! I didn't do it!
That was Chuck. It was probably Chuck. He's asking for spare change earlier.
Apparently, he was rolling out the dough for Optimus
Yes.
Prime.
So, yeah, somebody was real rich and really wanted that Optimus Prime. No, it wasn't me.
Bro, you gotta back off now.
Look. But it's called Transformers Earth Wars, and you do get different Transformers, and you can attack each other's bases, and you can build your own Earth base or whatever like that. And some dude...
So it's like StarCraft, but with Transformers?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, but $150,000. Dude, you can't even separate me from like $10 or $15.
I was going to say.
I could not imagine.
No.
You should have just bought the game and called it a day.
Yeah, for sure.
$150,000.
We were
Dude, I
just
felt like I had a problem when I spent $12 on Candy Crush.
Yeah, right? That's what we were just talking about, talking
Where's
to
the
Nate
cricket sound effect
earlier
now?
in the show. Did you catch that?
Oh,
Al,
I
at all?
did.
There it is. Thank you.
I thought $12 on Candy Crush would have got at least a couple of chuckles. Mr. Crickets.
I'm going to have to start pointing at you for the drop. Like, and now.
Oh, please. Remember the last time we tried to do a news segment and I had no idea what my part was?
Nothing.
I introduced you out. Big news.
Yeah.
News that's big. I got my lines. Come on, Al.
Well, I'm useless.
All right, so that's the one extreme of how much
It's like
money
Eeyore.
you could spend.
Woe is me. I'm useless.
Anyone else want to do their jobs today?
That's an appropriate drop right there.
Well.
All right, so that's the one extreme of spending money on video games. Here's the other extreme: free. Everybody loves free. The Internet Archive, as of a couple of weeks ago, released 2,500 MS-DOS games from the 90s on it. And if you're not familiar with this, and I was not, I had to look this up because I saw this on
Is it
CNET.
MS-DOS or MS-DOS?
MS-DOS, DOS, whatever.
DOS. DOS is like two.
DOS.
Uno, dos.
MS-DOS.
It's the Hispanic DOS.
Right, if
Free
you
game
spell-
giveaway.
MS-DOS.
Ay, ay, ay. It's a Taco Tuesday.
All right, so the Internet
Very
Archive,
offensive.
which is archive.org, is essentially a library, an internet library, and they keep a whole bunch of stuff. Like they've got some web pages up there that they have documented, some audio recordings like live concerts and stuff, but they have 200,000 software programs on there. And by software programs, we're talking video games. They've got an internet arcade. They've also got a console living room where they have backed up versions of games from the Atari 2600.
So essentially, this is Dave and Buster's for poor people? Yeah! Is that what this is?
The Sega Genesis, the arcade machine or something like that, and you can just play them in the browser window. You can just click on the thing and play them with your keyboard. I don't know if you can hook up a controller and pull this off, but like I was playing Donkey Kong on here after I was checking it out. They've, like I said, they've got the Atari 2600, the Sega Game Gear.
You're probably going to play the same game on your Switch, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But how cool is that?
No, it's very cool. It's very cool. I just like poking fun at the fact that there's a bunch of free games.
It reminded me of the old website. It's called Vim.net when we were like in earlier 2000s, where you could be able to download the emulator and then all the games affiliated with that.
Yeah, and that's definitely a thing with like going back to the Switch. That's definitely a thing whenever they put one of those old collections of games on my Switch. I have to think like, okay, do I want to pay $40 for games that I have an emulator of on an old system over here that the emulator is already perfect? It's the old game, but now I can play it on my Switch. I can take it anywhere. Which is always the thing for me is, oh my God, I can take my Switch anywhere. But yeah, if you have not checked this out, archive.org. If go through there, look for an old game because it's probably there. Their interface leaves a little bit to be desired as far as trying to find something in there.
It's Internet Archives, right?
It's called the Internet Archive.
Find old school porn too. So if
maybe
you're looking for some pixelated.
If anybody would
breasts, you could probably find those there as well.
Yeah.
It seemed like an appropriate time to find out what excitement hit sounded like.
Right. Absolutely.
Vintage porn.
Man, I had something else and that drop completely derailed me.
I'm going to lose my job.
Excited. Come on, buddy.
I don't know. What else you guys got for this week, man?
I got nothing. I just playing with buttons.
He's nothing, sir. He loves me.
It's amazing how pointless and terrible your analogies are.
That's what it's staring me right in the face. Comic book news. So I've been ranting and raving about the current XMen books, the House of X and Powers of X books. Those just finished up last week, and the first issue of XMen #1, which is they're calling it the Dawn of X, the new XMen line of books going forward, is coming out this week. And the reason I bring this up is I absolutely love it.
Sorry, I have to derail you for a second. This is called The Dawn of X.
The Dawn of X.
This also sounds like a DMX album title or a greatest hits compilation.
It does.
You better be careful. He's in rehab, getting ready.
I'm here, DMX.
Yeah, no.
Come and bark at me. Whenever you're ready.
Come and bark at me.
He makes frequent appearances on this show whenever somebody swears.
Yes.
So.
Nice.
But the reason I brought this up is because if you go to your comic store this week, and I'm going to show these to James because I'm pretty sure this is going to touch his nostalgia.
Ooh.
If you go to your comic store this week and pick up X-Men #1, ask them if they've got the cards. They are giving away packs of cards with purchases of X-Men #1 that have the covers of each of the new X-Men books on them. There's like 6 or 7 cards in there. And if you flip it over, it's got the lineups of the team. Who is on the team. So it kind of draws back to that 90s nostalgia of the old Marvel cards and the X-Men cards.
It's also got some weird cryptic alien
Like
language.
the ones we used to get from Pizza Hut years ago.
There's the Pizza Hut
These
ones.
are even better than the freebie Pizza Hut ones. I'll pass them over here. You can check them out.
Okay.
Yeah, part of the new the new X-Men going forward is that they've created their own language or alphabet.
Okay.
Their mutant alphabet.
The Australian
Now,
version of Wolverine.
they're no Marvel masterpieces, but they are very nice cards.
Yeah, they're kind of neat. Like I said, it's the covers to all the books, so it's kind of there to get you excited about which books do you want to check out.
It's cool. It's a good marketing way to try to get people interested in your comics.
Absolutely. And it couldn't be like if every week they were giving away cards at the comic store. I don't know that it would be a special, but the fact that they're doing it for this particular thing, I'm like, that's awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah. So just yet another way for me to weasel in the fact that I love X-Men and the new X-Men comics are great, and you should go to your comic store and check them out. Also, speaking of X-Men, I think it was on Monday, the Disney Plus. This is the thing I was going to say before the drops derailed me. On Monday,
Stop shaming me.
Yeah, shut up. The Disney Plus went to Twitter to announce like everything. That's going to be on Disney Plus, which we kind of knew about because a couple of weeks ago, somebody over in the Netherlands that was testing the thing out just made this huge list. But they, listed like Gargoyles is going to be on Disney Plus, X-Men the Animated Series, Spider-Man Unlimited, all going to be on Disney Plus.
DuckTales, like all
DuckTales,
those Darkwing
Duck,
all those crazy cool fun.
Yeah.
It better be the original DuckTales. I think I said something about that where I was just like putting something on in the background. I came across some channel that said DuckTales. I put it on. I was like, oh, this would be cool. I do the dishes.
Right.
It was a new version. I was very upset.
Was Launchpad still a part of the team?
That new version is...
Dude, I didn't stay on it long. Well, as soon as I saw the new style of animation, I was right off of it. So I have no idea.
You know who Scrooge McDuck is in the new one? David Tennant.
Really?
Yeah. They got Abed from Community to be one of the triplets. Huey.
Really?
It's Huey, Dewey, Louie. Yeah, they got a great voice cast for it.
Huh.
So see, you should have tried it out.
No.
Maybe we hear the audio version of it. Like, I remember this episode.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's Nerd Radio as far as the...
did you finish the story about the streaming stuff? I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it's just like they announce everything. Like if you want to go to Twitter and check Disney Plus's Twitter, if there's something that you're like, I wonder if that's going to be a Disney Plus, they got their answer.
I just hope they didn't edit any of the XMen stuff because they chanted the same things over and over again. Like no more mutants.
That's true, yeah.
It was planned for like 6 or 7 episodes. I hope Disney was like, no more weird people. like who are you talking about?
Got to make sure it's PC.
Right.
Yeah.
No more superpower dudes.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, phrasing.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up our Twitch stream for this week. Thank you guys on Twitch for joining us. The podcast will... Jesus.
Okay.
The podcast will continue. We're going to do
Al's mom making an appearance.
We're going to do a little in-depth interview with Mr. Mark
Sick
Cooper.
of us being in her basement.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us this week, Mark.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Now
man. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. Now you can kind of see how the Riff Nerd Radio show
I hope
works.
the Nerd Radio, the riff is everything you dreamed it would be.
Yeah, he was real excited at the beginning. How you feeling now?
Even more excited. Man.
He's so kind. All right. Join us on our social media at Nerd Radio 101. Of course, if you're downloading the podcast on Apple Podcasts or on Google, make sure you leave us a rate and review. Let us know what you're thinking of the show, and we'll talk to you guys again next week.